All right, and we are live. Great. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us this evening. It is my pleasure to bring to you a young lady out of Ardmore, Pennsylvania that we're going to get an incredible amount of value from, a very good friend of mine. And for those of you guys that are just now joining us on the live feed on Facebook, feel free to go ahead and share this, tag as many people as possible. We're not going to talk about any company-specific issues, any company-specific anything. We're going to keep it to where this can be shared with the entire network marketing population. Matter of fact, even if someone is just an aspiring entrepreneur or a business owner of some sort, this is going to be generic training that you can use just to further yourself in your life, or even if you just need a little inspiration or whatever the case may be. So very exciting stuff. And what we're going to do is while we're going live, I'm actually going to check out the feed on my phone. And so if you guys have any sort of questions or anything like that, I'm going to be able to check it out live. Oh, I can hear myself on my phone. That's awesome. Oh, we're stars, Nina. So, there we go. So, all right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to get right into it. Now, I'm really excited about this because it's not a lot of times that you all get an up-close, intimate look into people's lives like Nina Moore. So just a little bit about Nina before we get into the interview is, Nina is someone that she's had a tremendous amount of success in the network marketing profession, with earning over $500,000 in her first year and a half in her last company, earning over $30,000 in her first month in her current company. And, she rose to the rank of #1 recruiter in that company very quickly. And she's just got an incredible culture throughout her team and her business. She's a mother of 4. She's a wonderful mother. She cares so much about her family. She's a grandma as well of one young lady. And guys, there's just a tremendous amount of value attached to this particular leader inside of the network marketing profession. So it brings me a great deal of pleasure to introduce to you all a good friend of mine, Miss Nina Rochelle Moore out of Ardmore, Pennsylvania. So Nina, how's it going today? How you feel?
Best day of my life.
I know that's right.
That phrase from a very dear friend of mine. You might know him. His name is Austin Zulaw. And I feel amazing. I feel blessed to be alive. I feel blessed to be your friend. And I feel honored and humbled to be a guest on your platform tonight. And the fact that you asked me, and I was like, me? Like, what do I have to say to people? But I realized that our lives are not our own, and that all of the things that we've been through, because oftentimes, Austin, what I find is that people hear about your high times. They hear about the successes. They hear about all the great things that you've done. They don't really hear you when you say it wasn't always that great, that I didn't always have success, and that I wasn't always, in a position where I feel like I had some freedom. And so I'm very, very grateful to be here, to be able to share a very transparent, raw, we didn't plan this, we didn't practice. So let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm looking at the people commenting right now, and they all love your hair. They all love your hair. So I was telling her, guys, I told her as soon as she got on here just a few minutes ago, I told her, I said, man, your hair looks amazing. It's so glamorous. So, hey. So, guys, if you have any questions for Nina towards the end of this, we're going to address those. For right now, let's go ahead and get into it. And Nina, there's one thing, just since you brought up that most people don't get a chance to really hear the story or, connect with the person behind the luxury and behind the success. Some folks think because of where you're at right now, that it's been smooth sailing. It's been all glamour and success for you, but I know better. You've been through quite a bit during your career in network marketing, even with some of those that have been held close to you. Challenges have arose, issues have came up, and you've overcame. You've proven that you're a strong leader worth following, a strong female. And, you must have had an incredibly strong why a massively important reason for persevering through all of that and continuing to be an amazing, amazing leader, never giving in and just constantly moving forward as you do. If you don't mind, before we get into the questions, do you mind sharing a little bit of that with us?
I don't mind sharing anything. So you can ask me any question and I am going to answer it. When I look back at some of the things I've been through in life, and I think the one thing that I keep saying is that my life is not my own. And I think about, what if I were to quit, right? Who else's life will not be impacted because I'm supposed to cross their path? And so it's not just because my life is not my own. And tests and trials, I understand that they come to make us strong. Does it mean that it always feels good? Absolutely not. Does it mean that I'm not human? And if you cut me off, then I'm going to bleed red blood just like the rest. It doesn't mean that I didn't think that I had friends that I realized were really not my friends. It doesn't mean that, because sometimes when you love hard, right, and you genuinely care for people, you assume or believe that everyone is supposed to feel that same way or reciprocate that. And you kind of get blinded to the fact that everybody in the world is not good, and the world is not full of people who are full of integrity and full of, the same kind of love that you possess. And then you got to realize that you can't even be angry about that God places on us the gift and the calling that he has on our life. And that all we're supposed to do is, even in spite of those that despitefully use us, those that, that are fraudulent towards us, those that are backbiters, those that are all of those things, that no matter what, my life is not my own. And I was called to a certain group of people. And I believe that if I were to quit, that there are so many other people whose lives might be at stake because Nina decides that, it just got a little hard today. I'ma just quit. No, my father raised me to believe that winners win no matter what. They just win. I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. But the one thing that I do know, Austin, is that when I set out a goal comes out of my mouth. So in my last company, Austin, the thing that I stood in front of the room and I hounded it over and over and over again. And I said, network marketing is going to change my zip code. And I believe that I talked to you in the midst of it changing my zip code. I had just met you. Thanksgiving Day, we moved into our brand new home and another zip code, and now what's my next goal? My next goal is not even like I want to earn millions of dollars. No, my next goal now is that I want to see the people that are attached to me, the people that have been placed or planted in my life. I want to see them now live out their dreams, their goals. But the problem is that people won't even write it down. I've got journals that describe exactly what I wanted my house to look like. And when you came here, Austin, for the very first time, you said, Nina, did you have this house built with the intent on hosting wine tastings here? The first thing I said was, heck no, I don't even drink wine, right? That's the first thing I said. And then the second thing is, I didn't even know about Direct Cellars when we looked at this house. And so God does everything for a reason. We're always willing to accept the good. When it gets a little tough, when it gets a little, when it gets like like you're in the fiery furnace, that's when most of us want to just throw in the towel, as if God is not good, even in the bad times.
I know that's right. I was really wanting to hear a little bit of your why, is what I was getting at is, I know you just you got to say what you feel sometimes, but I was wanting you to just share a little bit about, because, with all the challenges that you've had and you've overcame, you've had to have had an incredibly strong why. So I was wanting to know if you would mind sharing a little bit of your why with us.
Absolutely. So when I was 15, I had my first son, and I was so ashamed. Oh my God. Like the bishop's daughter, Austin, like it's bringing tears to my eyes now, right? The bishop's daughter, pregnant at 15. I thought, because I started listening to everything that everyone was saying to me, that my life was over. And honestly, Austin, the very first thought that I had about being successful and about you know, being able to show the world that it doesn't matter what you've been through, was because my biggest why was so that my children could watch me and look at me and say, I'm proud of my mom. That despite what the life may have began like, despite the struggles that we've been through, especially my oldest son, who's 29 now with a master's degree, you know, Hendrix daddy, you know, Rashid, despite all that we've been through, I just wanted my children to be able to say, I'm so proud of my mom. Look at her now.
And I guarantee you that they are. You know, I've gotten a chance, thank goodness, to meet your family, and I know they're proud of you. You know, if you were my mom, I'd be proud of you. So I appreciate you so much. So thank you for sharing that. And, you know, guys, we always say that, you know, you want a why, a reason that is so strong that, you know, you can't even, you know, talk about it without, you know, crying, without getting emotional. And you can tell, you know, just speaking with Nina, that she's definitely got that strong motivating why. If you break down the word motivation, it's comprised of two different words: motive, which is a reason, and the Latin suffix ation, which means a state of mind. So motivation is a state of mind that occurs naturally when you have a strong enough reason for doing something. So we can tell that definitely you have that, Nina, for sure. So what's one or two things, let's get into some like practical type training sort of issues. So what's one or two things that someone new, brand new to network marketing can do to guarantee their success? You know, a couple tips for the folks that are listening right now.
They've got to unlearn, like come in the door and everything they thought they knew, they have got to let it go, like right there at the door, and become like a baby, like a new creation. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things now are going to become new. It's got to be like a renewing of our mind, because we were programmed prior to network marketing and understanding that we could have time freedom and, you know, and financial freedom, and you know what, and have joy every single day, like have joy. Like, I don't have very many friends that are involved in network marketing that I don't always see smiling, you know? And so we were programmed. And so now you've got to be deprogrammed, not just reprogrammed, but deprogrammed. So the first thing is going to be that they've got to unlearn. Secondly, they're going to have to invest some time in personal development. And the thing that, you know, everybody wants to like cheat the process. They, you know, I didn't just get involved in network marketing yesterday or last year, but in 2008, after having some success, but hustle success, what I like to call hustle success, but having some success, and then some companies I didn't. And I just kept trying to go around the process of becoming a network marketer. I was a cosmetologist for 27 years, Austin. I had to go to school, and then I had to continue going to classes to help to hone or cultivate and nurture my gift, right? And my craft and my talent and my skill and ability. What worked when I came into the industry in the beginning, coming fresh out of high school, wasn't going to work 10 years down the line. New tools came out. New coloring techniques came out, and you had to stay on top of your game. It's no different with network marketing. You cannot come in and think that because you're a dentist, that you can bring that skill to the table with network marketing. You can bring your work ethic, but you can't bring the skill. Some skills are transferable, but most are not. You've got to be willing to learn or be deprogrammed so that you can then understand the industry, that personal development. And then the biggest of them all is to be coachable, to be trainable, and to be teachable. And even often, you know, there are times I call you and you'll hear me fuss, and I give it to me. Just give it to me often. And I may not even understand why you're saying I should do a thing, but I never argue with you. I just say, okay, I'm going to do it. Okay. And sometimes I got to go crawling away with my little tail between my legs, but I'm going to do it because you've already achieved the level of success that I desire to. So if you've already gone through some pitfalls and through the ditches that I may not have to, then it just makes more sense to listen so that I don't have to go down that same road.
Yeah, that was something that early on in my career, I really think that I wouldn't be where I'm at if it weren't for me seeking out people that have been successful and surrendering myself to those folks and saying, listen, you know, I need direction. You know, I need guidance. Because one of my partners used to say, matter of fact, it was Christopher Hussey, he used to say that the quickest path to success is directly through the experience of others. And, you know, I didn't always realize why certain people were telling me what, you know, to do this or that. And sometimes I thought, man, they're just trying to get me to spend money, you know, on some of these, you know, events and stuff like that. But now I love it because today I just bought my tickets to Eric Worre's leadership retreat out in Vegas. And I got 2 free tickets, by the way, to Eric Worre's GoPro event in November. So I'll be running a contest shortly to see who really wants to go out there, all expenses paid. Anyway, I love contests, you know that. So one thing that Nina said that I don't want you guys to not have mentally gotten is she was saying that when she first started in cosmetology, the things that applied and worked then wouldn't work today. Things are constantly evolving. There were new tools, new things, new coloring techniques. And that's the same here. If you were to take someone who joined Amway 60 years ago and put them in today's world with a millennial building a new, you know, one of the companies that are around today, they'd struggle. You know, they'd still do well because they know what they're doing. Amway's got a tremendous culture and great training. But, you know, you put them up against someone who can reach 1,000 people with the push of a button, you know, there's going to be a little bit of, you know, challenges to keep up. So it's good to see folks that are constantly learning and staying abreast of all the new social platforms and different techniques that are out there, and going to the new networking events like the Association of Network Marketing Professionals and such. So good tips. Good tips. Everyone keeps commenting on your hair. That's so
hair. Tell them thank you.
Those tickets is hers to the GoPro event. Jamal says
he's in. He's in.
Yeah, so that's gonna be fun, guys. We gotta have 100+ people out there at GoPro, and then 500+ out at the A&P event. But anyway, so the next question that I'd like to ask is, what's the biggest difference between someone who's successful in our beloved profession and someone who's unsuccessful? And before you answer, I just want to advise all the folks that are watching, share this video, tag everybody that you can that wants to, you know, make waves and grow their network marketing organization or just grow their business. Share, tag, like, comment, you know, let us know your thoughts. So, you know, back to the question, what do you think is the biggest difference between someone successful and someone unsuccessful in our profession?
Their mindset. Their mindset. See, when your mind is right, Athena, consistency is not a problem when your mind is right. When your mind is right, you know, we get knocked down off the horse, but we get back up. No one says that we're not going to fall. Even when I think about the word of God, and it may not be important to other people, but it is important to me, that it says, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, right? So, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, means that God didn't say we weren't going to go through the valley. Right. He just said he was with us the whole time. That's right. And so, you know, when we think about it like that, that no matter what happens, we've got to have a mindset that I don't care if they tell me no. I don't care if I lose. Guess what? I've lost so many people I thought were friends. Yeah. I just have. It's because I realize we just don't have the same mindset. We don't see things the same. And even when I'm around, you know, some of the older circle of people that I was around before, and it's like, okay, you got to know what to do with the circle of people. So some people are going to be your hangout crowd, right? And then, you know, other people are going to be the crowd that you go to get your motivation, to get your inspiration, to get your focus right, to get your, you know, and then you're going to have the crowd that you can go shopping with because you know that they can afford to shop with you, but they may not fit into any of those other circles. And you got to know, because a lot of times we're trying to drag people, you know, we're trying to drag people with cooler and beer mentality to the champagne palace. Right. And the two just don't go. I was having a conversation earlier with Jamal Mention, and he said, too many of our people are not understanding that we have a premium product. So why are you looking for people that want your premium product in the neighborhood bar? I said, oh my God, it was such a powerful, simple statement that we attract who and what we are. So if we attract who and what we are, where are you going to attract the people? You can't even go to the same places that we used to go to. It's all right here. It's all about our mindset.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. And Tim Brown actually just said something. He said, stick and stay. And early on, you know, I was taught those that stick with it and stay in the right activities, you know, you stick and stay, you get the pay, you know, that sort of thing. And I want to capitalize on something you said as well. Years ago, whenever I was in the factories, I think it was about 7 years ago, I remember it was 120 degrees in there. I was sweating my tail off, and they had put me on one of the most difficult parts of the line. And it was basically, I was the fail-safe, and if I didn't work my tail off, the machine would have gotten jammed. And I was looking around, and no one else was really doing much, and it was causing me to work 10 times harder. Yeah. Then I went to the manager on a break, and I said, look, Jason, man, listen, you know, everyone else is doing this. Everyone else is doing that. Everyone else. And he said, Austin, don't worry about what everyone else is doing. You can't control what they do. You can only control what you do. You know, worry about what you've got. Worry about what you're doing, your mission, your task at hand. And, you know, I was trying to get to a management position in that. So, you know, he said, you know, we see what's going on. Trust me, just because we don't say it, we see all that stuff. We see it from a bird's eye view, okay? But the thing is, you can't control all that. You stick with it, stay in the right activities, you will get to your destination, which I ended up quitting that job because I'm not meant for I'm definitely not meant for a factory. I'm telling you right now.
Not meant for a factory.
I'm not meant for that. But it's very true in what we do, right?
Right. Right. And you know what I was, to kind of piggyback onto that, right? A lot of people get frustrated often and they'll say, I don't know what's wrong with my team. I don't know, you know, why they don't want to work. I don't know what's going on. And the reality of it is most people don't have a team. They didn't enroll a team. They didn't recruit a team. They just enrolled some people that had the money to enroll.
They got a couple buddies.
Because they should have let those people just be their customers, right? So we got to take real self-evaluation, take a real good look in the mirror before we start forcing blame and, oh, you know what, maybe this is just not for me. Everything we do in life is sales. Every single thing we do in life is sales. Everything.
Yeah. And, you know, and it's funny too, is because you had said something, doggone it. See, my ADD is horrible, horrible. My train of thought got derailed, Nina. So, I really wanted to talk about that, though. We'll go ahead and move on, though. But you said something I really wanted to capitalize on. But now, with you know, with all of this, you've said that mindset is the biggest difference. Do you feel like personal self-development is important to you? And if so, I know what I wanted to say is the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. You know, if something's going on, you know, any negativity, any vibrations, any sort of whatever, you know, the speed of the leader is the speed of the team. The best way to get momentum is to create momentum. So if you're concerned about what John and Steve and Terry over there are doing, create momentum. If they see that, you know, 5, 10, 15 people have fallen under them in the past, you know, few days or whatever the case may be, I guarantee you, they'll get to work for that fear of loss, right? You know, wouldn't you agree that the best way to get momentum is to create momentum?
Amen. Amen. And you know what? Think about it like this. And I'm not a camping kind of girl. I'm sure that I'm a glamping kind of girl, but not a like camping kind of girl, right? But I love sitting out in my fire pit, right? And so often when I want the fire to stay high, we keep adding logs to it.
Right.
Right? But when I want the thing to die out, I just simply stop adding logs to it, ignore it, and it burns out all by itself.
That's right. Well,
by itself. Yeah. And sometimes we keep giving energy to things and areas and situations and even people. We give people more power than they deserve. God is not the author of confusion. Let me tell you something. And when he says that vengeance is his and he will repay, all we got to do sometimes is do like this. Put your hands up, put your feet up. grab a glass of wine and what? And let God be God. Let the fire burn out. Because guess what? There's no need in giving energy to areas, to things that don't deserve our energy. Create our own momentum and go, 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 go.
I know that's right. Hey, so, with that being said, is personal self-development important to you? And if it is, why is it important? And what's some of your favorite personal self-development type stuff?
It's like the air that I breathe. It's there isn't a day. And if there's something that happens during a day that, I do have a 3-year-old, so that makes life very interesting. And on days that I have her and my grandbaby, it makes things very, very interesting. And so there are days that I may not get to it when I want to, and I feel empty. I feel like void or depleted, almost like when your body needs water because it's dehydrated. It's so important to me because it's the only way that literally I can stay focused, And so some of the things, everything is different. I like to listen to personal development in the morning. I like to blast it through the house, right? And like the first thing that I hear while I'm getting dressed, while I'm getting Paige dressed, because ultimately the first thing that you hear for your first, I don't do foolishness first thing in the morning. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to look at bad messages, none of that. I need to get my mind right. So my first 20 minutes or so, I'll just play it. I have a pill speaker in the bathroom that I link my phone to, and we blast something positive, whether it's TD Jakes, sometimes it's Les Brown, sometimes it's Eric Thomas, sometimes it's Tony Robbins, something that just Lisa Nichols, just Joyce Meyer, just something positive that you're hearing, something positive in the morning. Then literally everywhere I go, Austin, and you've seen it, everywhere I go, you see that I keep books everywhere, like there's books all around me, everywhere, right? In this office, in my bedroom, I have a shelf. And you also always see me with a notebook, and I'm always jotting and journaling, even in my notebook, because, there are different thoughts that come to you during the day, and you're going to forget. I mean, come on, life does happen. We're going to forget. There's some things that we think we want to get to that we don't. So I read consistently. I was taught by a great mentor of mine, James Dentley, that Nina, just read 10 pages a day. Most books are about 300 pages or less. So if you read just 10 pages a day, you will finish a book a month. Now, I'll tell you, I buy like 2 and 3 books a week. I know, Austin, every time we talk, what am I doing? You say something out your mouth, right? And what do? I say, hold on a second. And I order the book, right? Or if I'm in the midst of listening to personal development and they say a book or a certain author mentions that he read such and such and such, I immediately stop and I go buy the book. And so I have enough books in my possession for the next probably 5 years that where I wouldn't have to buy a book at all, but I'm constantly wanting to learn.
Favorites right now.
Say it again.
What's one of your favorites right now?
It's like probably this one.
Ooh, yeah, Success Through a Positive Mental Attitude. One of my mentors, W. Clement Stone.
Right, probably, but there's 3 of his books I'm reading right now, but they all really it's all about the same. It's all the same thing: success, the mindset, success. Because for me, I asked God to show me what I needed in this season of my business, and it was all mindset. Like and it's crazy because it's not that I haven't dealt with mindset before, right? But for whatever reason, he knew that I needed to be built up in this season for whatever was to come through this season. So I'm reading 3 of his books at the same time, simultaneously.
Good stuff. Well, so let me ask you, what's something that you love about the network marketing profession?
Ooh, freedom. Like time freedom. It is work. See, I think that people come in with this mindset that, I joined, and they think if they join with a great sponsor that they're just gonna earn millions of dollars. And that's not what happens, right? So, but the fact is that if you do the work, right? And you plant the seeds and you really set a firm foundation, then the work gets easier and easier and easier. There's less hands-on kind of things. And so for me, it is the time freedom. And I have met some very, very amazing, like-minded people in this industry. And that would probably be my next thing. And then the fact that really it's like Burger King. You can have it your way. So if you want to earn a whole lot of money, then you do the work to earn the money, right? And it's not the kind of money that I used to have to go stand behind a chair. You know, it's not like $40 for a blowing curl and the person in my chair is getting on my nerves. They're late, you know, then they don't want to tip you. And it's not that same kind of thing. But I literally, like Robert Kiyosaki says it best, this is the one industry that the most millionaires are birthed, because it's all, we're not paid according to how we perform. We're paid according to how much we would like to perform. So if you want to earn a lot of money, then you put the work in. And if you don't want to, you'll keep complaining and being mad at those that don't want to do it. And some will, some won't. So what? We learned that early on. And the time freedom, the fact that financially, this can be what you desire it to be when you put the work in. And then, of course, the people that I've met some great people. I've met some not so great people too, but I've met some not so great people even in church. So it doesn't matter. Wherever you go, there's people like that everywhere.
Yeah. So, I mean, like you, with me, I used to look at people in the network marketing profession and think to myself, okay, my dad is earning $30-something thousand a year. And then up to $40-something thousand a year. Some of these guys are making that in a month. Some are making it in a week. And I'm sitting here like, oh my God, it would be so amazing to be able to earn what most people make in a year in a month. And I couldn't see that possible anywhere else. Any job on Monster or Career Builders, I didn't see it. And so whenever I got involved in network marketing, had my first $20,000-$30,000 months, and then up to $50,000 months that I've had, and then finally hit $60,000 not that long ago. And then, it's just, it's a situation where I never saw that possible anywhere but network marketing. And then the way that we earn income, while most people are at work and they have no choice but to be there for 8, 10, 12, 14 hours, you and I and the folks that are full-time in this profession, we're able to go to Walmart whenever everyone else is at work, or Meijer or wherever you shop at. And we're able to work this business from the beach with our cell phones and our laptops, and catch a nice tan and all that sort of thing, and hang out with friends. It was not that long ago that, I was down in Atlanta hanging out with some buddies, throughout the week, full-time networkers. There's, like you said, Nina, freedom. It's not the money. The money's great. It can be great, but it's just the freedom that network marketing provides that's unparalleled to anything else, unless you've already got millions of dollars and you're just an investor,
Right.
So,
but the money is going to happen by default. The freedom by far, the fact that I can watch Paige grow up, that I was able to see my granddaughter's first steps last week while she was here, while I was able to watch her because her parents were shooting for MegaFest and for in New Orleans, the Essence Awards, right? And so, they're doing what they love. That's their passion. But I was able to say, no, I can keep her for a week, or almost a week. You know what I mean? The freedom that this industry gives us outweighs anything. And then even when I realized, what I had heard even here in this new company, and I started calculating what they earn at Walmart for the year, that I did that in my first month here. Yeah, was it work? Absolutely. But I came in with a plan. That's the one thing. I came in with a plan, a 90-day plan to run, to go hard, right? And network marketing, if we do those 90-day sprints every now and again, guess what happens? We get massive momentum in our business. And guess what? Then after that 90 days dies down, you'll have some people working, motivated, excited, and all of that. And it's just a cycle. But every business is in cycles. Just like my salon business, my salon business, I knew during the months of June, July, and August, it was dead man's land, right? So we had to work hard when back to school came, back to school all the way to December 29th or 30th. And then it was dead man's land again, right? It was like January, February, until people started getting income tax money back again, right? When March came and Easter was. So every business goes in cycles. I'm not certain why people don't want to hold out and stay and stick and stay when even your network marketing business goes through a cycle.
Yeah, I mean, you brought up a good point. Every business, construction working, even, McDonald's, I mean, every single thing, has sales cycles. It just goes up and down. And if you stick around long enough, you actually get a chance to see, when the peaks and valleys are. And, one thing that I've learned is it's never as good as it seems, and it's never as bad as it seems. It's finding that happy median that really the successful people, the professionals, the moguls and all that sort of thing, they've learned to master and control their emotions. So, that's definitely a big key. I've got 2 more questions, and then I'm going to open it up for Q&A and any questions from folks. So, guys, stay tuned and share, and tag people and that sort of thing, because we're going to give you guys a chance to ask Nina a question here shortly. So, you mentioned what you love is the freedom. What's something that you don't necessarily love about network marketing, and how can we improve on that?
Ooh, that's a big one. Well, I think that I think sometimes people don't realize that there really is enough for all of us, right? There is. The world is big. There's enough for all of us that we don't have to stay in the little circle that we've been in and everybody recycle the same people, over and over again. So I don't like the fact that, and then I don't like when people compare each other to other people, because everybody's journey is different. And so not everyone is going to come in and make 10K their first month, 30K the first month, or even get to a point where they are earning $50,000 and $60,000 a month. Everybody can, but everybody won't. And the reason why everybody won't is because that's not everybody's desire. And if a person can't even believe that they can do it, it's not going to happen anyway. So don't compare. I see leaders do it all the time. Well, such and such did X, Y, and Z. Well, great. And I'm going to celebrate that person for what they were able to accomplish. But their reality, and that's their world and their life. And when a person comes into a new business, guess what? They've got momentum. They've got it. They've got momentum. It's called excitement momentum. It's called people are just getting started. Their teams are coming with them. It's all excitement momentum. Then we got to teach the duplication. So I think it's just that we don't understand. A lot of people act like there's not enough for all of us, right? And then I think that sponsors have to get better, right? And that's a personal thing. That's not something we can do. We just got to keep training, because we'll sing people's praises, right? I mean, sing their praises as long as they're doing what we need them to do to produce, right? And the moment that ends, then we just treat them like they weren't the person that helped us to hit ranks, or, we act like they weren't the person running the meetings, running the calls, running the trainings, and I think that I don't ever, and I love that you do it too, Austin. You're always telling us how much you appreciate us. And I love to tell my team, I appreciate you guys. You don't know that you could have chosen anyone, but you chose me. People are not a number to me. They are people. They are real people with real feelings. And yeah, as a mentor, as a coach, we sometimes got to say the things that are hard, right? Just like my physical, when I go to the gym, it's not easy. It's not easy. When I want to, get over a hurdle, and when I wanted to lose weight, all those things are not easy, but everything that we do has to be for the good of the individual. And so I just want us to get better as sponsors. Like I keep asking God, Lord, every day, help me to see something in me that's not like you so that I can fix me. And if we seek every day to become a better individual for ourselves, just a better human being, a better child of God, a better sister, a better brother, a better mother, a better father, then all of those things spills over into our business, because who we are, we cannot hide. We can't hide. Just like Eve couldn't hide with them fig leaves, we can't hide. We just have to live our lives, and we have to ask her. And you know what? And understand that there is no condemnation. See, because network marketing, it does three things. It builds character, it exposes our flaws, and it compresses time. Boom. And the fact that it exposes our flaws is not a bad thing. If we would just be willing to admit, you know what? Yep, I messed up. Because it's not indicative of who we are, right? It's indicative of, especially if it's not something that's in your nature that you do over and over and over again. So be comfortable with knowing that it builds character, but it also exposes flaws. And so I just want us to be better, like get better, be better human beings, so that we treat other people the way we desire to get treated.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's a difference between a recruiter and a sponsor. Someone that recruits, they can bring them in, and someone that sponsors, they'll bring someone in and they'll take the time to pour into that person. It can sometimes be frustrating to be a trainer, to be a sponsor, to be a teacher, a mentor, a guide, to take someone from where they're at to where they want to be. It can be frustrating sometimes, but that's where that temperance and controlling your emotions can come into play, because you have somewhat of a responsibility to an individual whenever you agree to be their sponsor, So that's another reason why I don't sponsor everybody that, that comes to me, or that, once we get to talking, I figure that they're probably not going to be a good fit for me. So I might give them, to say, hey, I think they'd be perfect for Jamal, or they'd be perfect for MJ, and let me link them up with Shayo, that sort of thing, because not that I don't want to deal with them. It's just that, they might not be a good fit. So, good stuff. Improve on being a sponsor. It's definitely a good one. So I've got one more question for you, and then we're going to let everybody who's on the live feed ask questions of you for about 10 minutes. Is that fair?
That's fair.
If you could tell the whole world, every single person, let's say that it's not the, how many ever people is watching right now, if you could tell the whole world one thing about what it is that we do as professionals in network marketing, just one word to the world about network marketing, what would it be?
What we do.
Thing. Just one thing to the whole world about what it is we do as professionals in network marketing.
And it's one word too?
No, well, if you can do it in one word, that'd be cool. But no. If you can do it,
I can't do it in one word. But what we do in network marketing is we live our dreams. We live our dreams. We lived a life of dreaming coming up. I remember living a life of, I can't wait till I'm living in the house off the main line. And, then we put those dreams on the shelf because life begins to happen. We start having children, and now we're working, and we think we're stuck in this job, and we're kind of stuck in this rut, and we really don't see our way out. But we teach people how to believe again. We teach people how to live again. We teach people how to hope again. And we teach people how to not wait until till their spouse passes away and you're 75, 80 years old and you're getting your insurance money, and now you can live and you can travel and that's not living. But how about living while you're alive? How about that? And so I think the one thing that we do is we teach people that, we were taught, stop dreaming, go out there and get a job. I mean, I'm telling you, I remember hearing those things. Stop dreaming. You know, you got to stop daydreaming. That, you know, you need a real job. You got to go do some real work. Well, we are doing real work, right? And we're teaching people that it is possible. Everything you desire. So we're teaching people, dust those dreams off. Take them off the shelf. Put them back in your forefront. And then you start working towards those dreams and live again, love again, laugh again. Some people don't laugh because they scared to cry. You know what I mean? To laugh again, hope again, dream again. And that all those things can happen right here when we learn that it's really just, we follow a system, we become what we're looking for. And remember that as bad as it may hurt, as much as it may hurt, that we've got to live with integrity no matter what.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with everything you said. And, you know, it's it may be a situation. What do they say about, you might know the quote better than I do, is, you know, if you want to grow fast, go by yourself. If you want to grow deep, grow together.
Together. Yeah.
So, you know, it definitely does pay to do right by others, for sure. So, guys, this is going to wrap up the, you know, questions that I have. What's some questions that you, our viewers, have? We're going to take, you know, 1 or 2 questions. We're going to spend a couple minutes on those questions. So, you know, what's a question that you have for Nina that we didn't ask already? Feel free to just type it out here. And while they're doing that, you know, I just want to say thank you once again, Nina. I appreciate you taking the time. I know how busy you are. And, of course, Paige, you know, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And, you know, you got just an amazing family. I tell you what. So Jennifer Huckback asked, do you have a top 10 reading list? We can cut that down to, like, what's your top 5, would you say? Like, top 5 books in order, all-time favorite. What would they be?
Well, for the industry's sake, I would say it's my first year in network marketing. I think that just like the Bible, I don't understand how anyone can say that they're a network marketer and they've never read that book. and you tend to go back to it all the time as well. Then it would be GoPro. Eric Worre's GoPro is like a must read. And these are like right in the beginning books. But there's they're books that you're going to go back to, right? The Compound Effect. The Compound Effect, for me, was probably the book that it changed my life. I don't know, like when I started to see that it didn't take, you know, because sometimes even with my weight loss journey, we think that it takes going to the track and being on there for like 25 miles the first day. And when I realized that I could go to the track and do 30 minutes, and in the beginning, it took me almost the whole 30 minutes to do 1 mile. But as you get better, then I got it down to where I could get a mile in between 15 and 20 minutes, and you get better at it. So the Compound Effect taught me that, how important that was. Another great book for me would be Who Moved My Cheese?
Oh, that's a good one.
Who Moved My Cheese was like, it's just such a great book, right? And then it's so tough. One more would probably be Failing Forward. Failing Forward was a great book, you guys. And but there are so many. But those would probably be like right up there, because there were times like with Failing Forward, I just kept saying, dag, is it me? Is it me? Everybody else seems to be having success around me, but me. You know, Failing Forward is that book that's going to help you kind of battle that self-doubt. And so is the book. I will put a book list together for you, Kenya. Who Moved My Cheese? Change Your Life too, Tim. There's a book called Bad ASS. I don't want to say the word because I got a repeater right here with me. But there's a book. Just type in BAD. ASS, you guys, right? And there's a book, it's yellow, and it's a really great book for you as well to read when you believe that it's like when you start battling with that self-doubt.
Gotcha. So Rebecca Garrett from Atlanta, Georgia said, how do you balance it all? So I know that you're busy, I'm busy. I know with me personally, I have an assistant, or I call her my operations administrator. Every night she texts me, she emails me my schedule for the next day. That actually helps me sleep better at night, knowing what I got to do the next day. And, you know, so I already know what's going to happen throughout the day, the next day. Gives me peace of mind going into it, and then I'm able to work my fit in other things around my current schedule. That's how I do it. How do you balance it all?
I literally have to write everything down. And sometimes even at night when I go to bed, I have to dump. So what I do is I send myself a text message. Cause I used to have an assistant and right now I just don't have one. My business kind of is not calling for it just yet again, but it will again soon. But I could not live without my planner. I have it in my phone, yes, but I also write it out. There's something different for me that happens with the transference of writing. And then, Rebecca, to be 100% transparent and honest, is that there are times that I still don't do well. I don't always get it right. There are times that I'll have to say, you know what? Nope, I'm just going to shut it down right now and be a mom right now. And there's going to be times that I'm going to just say, you know what? Nope, let me shut this laptop down. And you know what? I'm going to just go to the store and act like a human being today. And I'm going to go get some coffee, because I had to realize the balance between not having to live behind my computer or my phone all day. And there are some times that I will not pick my phone up. I won't. I'll just leave it in my bag, and I force myself to have it in my bag so that I can like breathe for a minute. And you have to give yourself some time, because I don't always do well. I don't always give my husband all the time that he should. And I thank God for somebody who has the grace to have me in his life, because had it been somebody else, he probably would have left me by now, right? Because your business can tend to be like your other, like a side chick would be, or a side dude would be. And so, you know, you guys got to understand that you're not always going to get it right. Don't beat yourself up when you don't get it right. Just say the next day, all right, I'm going to do better the next day.
That's right. Well, so we got 6 more minutes and I want 2 more questions. So Tim Brown asked me what my favorite lead-in question for prospecting is. I'd like you to answer this one too, is with me, I like to prospect at people's work a lot, because I know they've got a job. So I know, you know, in Kentucky, the average annual income is $20,000 a year. It's $21,000 actually. And I still don't see how people live off of that. But my favorite question is, do you plan on retiring from wherever we're at? So I compliment them, you know, oh my gosh, I tell you what, you look like you really enjoy working here at Starbucks. And I would too. Do you enjoy it as much as it seems? And they usually say, well, you know, sometimes, you know, they're usually not as enthused, you know, as you know, but sometimes they are. And I ask them, okay, well, shoot, I got a question for you. Do you plan on retiring from Starbucks? They almost always say no. And then I say, well, then I got a serious question. If I were to show you something that didn't take you away from Starbucks, it didn't take any more time, and you really, really had fun, you enjoyed it, and it could produce another income that could meet or exceed your Starbucks paycheck, would that even be interesting to you? They always say yes. I don't care if they're a doctor. They always say yes. And then I do the takeaway. Well, you know, of course, I can't promise you anything, but the company I work with is looking for serious people in the area. And so I go into that, and, you know, if you want the offline prospecting script, which that's pretty much what that is, just holler at me. But well, what's one of your favorite lead-in questions or comments or ways to prospect?
What's crazy is I've been with you and you've asked people that question. So he is telling the 100% truth. I don't have a lead question, but I like to ask questions. And I found that great leaders ask great questions. So when you want to, and that's another book. That's why I said there's so many. I want to say it's John C. Maxwell. But literally, I ask questions so I can find the person's pain, similar to what Austin does, but he generally does it around just what they do. And I like to ask, especially if people are moms or dads, I'll ask them, you know, so how they've been, especially if it's somebody that I know. And you kind of start digging, you guys, for the thing that causes them pain. And if it's their job, I'll ask them, so how long have you been doing that? And you know, they'll say, oh, I've been here 20 years. And I say, wow, really? You must really love what you do.
Right.
And they'll say, and I love it. Like, I stay very positive and upbeat, not sarcastic or condescending.
Right.
Because you can't be sarcastic, but you gotta sound like you're very excited to hear about what they're saying. And oh my God, you must really love what you do. And then they'll say, no, not really. And I say, no, you must. Like, you've been there 20 years. You must love what you do. And then they'll say, no, you know, I just did it. You know, I have to take care of a family. And that's how you start digging in their pain and you start asking questions. So what if there was something else that you could do that would help you take care of your family, but give you some time freedom and maybe take some of that pain away of having to say, no, I just did the 20. Could you imagine, Austin, being on a job for 5, 10, 15 years that you just don't like, but you do it because you just have to provide? See, for me, those things are big enough. Like the thought, if I had to think about going back to the salon, I would have nightmares. And so I'd probably cry, like, no. And I would be out meeting people every single day to make sure that I do not have to go back to the salon, to the chair.
Going back to the chair.
Lady.
Jamal said, repeat that, Austin. I'm drinking wine. So, Jamal, if you go to our team training site, it's on there. It's in the offline training section. Okay. Nina, Tim Brown had a question. This will be the last question that we've got for the night because I wanted to keep it under an hour. Is why your current company over any other company that's out there?
Oh, that's a great question, and it's easy. I'm glad you. Thank you, Tim Brown, for asking me that question. It's very, very simple. And I need people to understand when I say this. I have this tape that's sticking to my hand, y'all. I'm sorry. That's what I'm trying to get off my hands. There it is. That I want you to know that I am not throwing any shade. Oh, thank you. She said her 4-year-old daughter likes me. I am not throwing any shade whatsoever. I am literally giving the answers to the questions that I've been asked. Okay, because I don't ever want people to think that I'm throwing shade when I say what I'm saying. So in my last company, it was health and wellness. And I had great success there. I am not cutting that opportunity, but it is what it was. But I had to sell results. And you're figuring a person who lost a person, right? I lost a person in that deal, earned a lot of money and lost a person in that deal. Why would I have to convince you to use the products that I had to offer, right? People are always going to come up with excuses as to why they can't afford to do this and why they can't afford to do that. And, you know, and so are you kidding me? Wine? So here I am now, Tim, the non-wine drinker, hears about wine going MLM. And I say I'm all in. So why was I all in? Because my brain started going and my brain started thinking, like, wait a minute. Wine, everything we do in the salon, we had wine down Wednesdays and, you know, sip and clip Thursdays. And when you get your nails done, they're serving wine now. And everything we do, baby showers, you know, homegoings or funerals, you start a new job, your kids make you happy, wine, your kids make you sad, wine, you start a new relationship, wine, you break up, wine, you know, everything we do. I said, wine is sexy. It's social. It's classy. It's diverse. It's universal. It brings people together. And I don't have to sell results. I don't have to wait for people to go ask their doctor, hey, can I drink this red wine? Says no one ever. And so for me, it was about being able to now not have any retail. That's another reason, Tim, the fact that I don't have to retail. I don't have to load my back office with inventory. You know, that was major for me because I spent a lot of money doing that in my last deal. I don't have to build shelves for my product. You know, and literally you can work this totally online. You don't even have to do a party if you don't want to. It's totally up to you. And so we don't sell anything. Direct Cellars doesn't make, manufacture, nor sell any wine. You know, we don't sell anything. We don't sell results. We have a resistance-proof product. And the biggest one of them all, Austin and Tim, is that we don't have a fad product. 10 years from now, guess what's going to happen? People are still going to be drinking wine. 20 years from now, people are still going to be drinking wine. And so it just made sense to me. We have a great compensation plan with a great product. So great compensation plan, great product, amazing leadership like Mr. Austin Zuloff, the rock star himself. I think at that point you just have there's nothing to lose here. Nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. Everything to gain. Nothing to lose.
Right. And what is W. Clement Stone? He says, where there's nothing to lose and a great deal to gain, if successful, by all means try. Right?
There you go.
Well, I tell you what, so thank you once again so much. Thank you to everybody that was on with the interview with us. I think we had some amazing value. And I tell you what, guys, from this point forward, every Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern time, we're going to go ahead and do another interview with somebody every Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern. I think Nina being the first person was very appropriate, and it was a great interview. I appreciate you so much.
So much.
You're amazing. You're an amazing leader. So guys, if you haven't already done so, connect with Nina Rochelle Moore on Facebook. Make sure that you look her up, shoot her an inbox message, and tell her hey, and tell her what's up. Ask her what she's up to, because she's definitely a leader worth following. So thank you so much. Any final comments you'd like to say before we end the live broadcast?
You know what? I would leave you with this. I want you all to remember and realize that everything that you need is already inside of you. God put it there. You are not looking for anything. You are not insignificant. You are not, no one else is greater than you. I want you to just know that you hold an ability and you hold a gift inside of you that there are some people in the world that only you are going to touch. So don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't look to the right. Don't look to the left. And remember, you want to remember this. You know, I think about the fact that my children will come to me and they're having some struggle in their lives. And I'll look at them and I'll tell them that they have to keep pushing. They have to keep trying. They have to keep becoming a better person. They have to forgive. They have to love in spite of. And if you would not tell your children to quit, right? Then why would you quit on your dreams? Why would you quit on your goals? So the same things or the same advice that we would give to our children is the same advice that we have to be willing to utilize for ourselves. And so I love you guys. We love you over here. And you know what? We're here to help you. Don't think that you're in this by yourself. You're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. And we love Austin Zuloff. I want to thank you for all that you do for our team and for the industry in a whole. You are one integrity-filled gentleman. That's exactly what we'll call you, gentlemen, who knows how to party like a rock star when he's not working too, right?
You have fun, work hard, play hard, you know?
That's right.
So thank you again so much, Nina. I love you. And obviously there's about 1,000 other people that love you that have watched this. So I appreciate you guys on the live feed, and thank you for all the questions. And you all have a great evening. If we provided value to us, just know. And if there's any training you'd like, just ask. Nina Rochelle Moore, we love you. Thank you so much.
I love you too. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.